Hey everyone, it's Mikey Abrams with Texas Pride Realty Group, and today I'm going to be talking about the little things you can do to help prepare your house to put on the market. There's a ton of videos out there telling you all the major redecorating and renovating things about kitchens and bathrooms and this, that, and the other to get your house, the maximum price when you sell it, and that's fantastic. But what's not talked about are these little freebie kinds of things that you can do to your house to help get it ready, and it'll make a better inspection report, hence better negotiations when a buyer comes in to ask for repairs. Regard this as kind of like the dollar store of home prep, okay? So I'm gonna break this down into categories. Category number 1, doors and windows. What you need to do is, first of all, with windows, go to each one of your windows, open and close and lock, making sure that it does it all properly. If it needs a little WD-40 on it, go ahead and put it there. Same thing with the doors. Make sure you take your doorknobs, shut the door, open the door, making sure that it completely closes. One thing you might notice about the door is check the door knob handle. If it's loose, get a little screwdriver and start screwing and tightening. Also, check the strike plate. I like saying that, strike plate. It's like a baseball-y, sportsy kind of thing. But here, it's for where the door opens and closes. We want to make sure that it is also tight and fits in properly. Next topic, electric. Now, you ain't no licensed electrician. Unless you are, good for you. And neither am I. But some things that you can do is to go take like a little phone charger. I don't have one in me, but imagine one. Like a phone charger. Go to each and every one of your outlets and plug it in. See if each outlet is working properly. If there's something that's funky about that, you might need to call a licensed electrician to come out to take a look. The other thing is the actual plates around the switches and the outlets. You like my voguing right here? You want to make sure that those are screwed in properly and that they actually exist. You can go to like a hardware store and just pick you up one, and it's super easy, and just start screwing. Yeah, you're screwing around a lot, right? The other thing you need to do with the electricity is remove excess cords. You can go into your attic. If there's any like random cords up there that aren't plugged into anything, wrap them up, tie them up. Don't let them start hanging around. Same thing with like throughout the entire house. If you've got like random cords hanging, it ain't time for that. Tie that up because that could be a hazard. HVAC and furnace. This is good. You just go outside. First of all, remove the debris around your air conditioning unit. If you want to pay a little bit more money, which is about $150 or so, just to have it serviced to make sure that everything's kind of working properly and the coolant's all put in properly, go ahead and do that. But this is a video about the cheapy ways of doing things. The other thing is go up to the furnace and change out your air filter. Make sure it is changed, cleaned, filled out. You can also go through your entire house and all the ducts and the vents and stuff. Take a little swifter and just make sure that they are properly cleaned off. Plumbing. Go to all of your sinks. Fill up the sink. Let it run water for about 5 minutes or so and see if that sink actually fills up. If it does, it's time to use some Drano. Just go ahead and pour that sucker on down there and making sure that it's all unclogged. The other thing you need to do too is to make sure that all the faucets are not like shaky or something, so you can caulk around them. Also checking the toilets. That's the fancy word for toilets. Caulk around the toilet, making sure that the toilet is secure within the ground. The other thing you can check is your shower head. Your shower heads are loose and running, and you're seeing a little bit of spray coming out of it, and it's spritzing all everywhere. Screw it on and tie. There's a lot of screwing going on here in preparing your house, right? Roof. This is a big one. If you've got a relatively new roof, you can go ahead and call the roof company and just have them come up and do a little fine tune-up on it if it's still under, warranty and coverage. But the other thing is, if you're not afraid of heights, go up on the roof, remove all the debris and the trees, and trim back any trees that are super, super touching. You know, we don't want like the branches like attacking the roof, because that's like a super bad thing. And then we also want to clean out the gutters. Clean all those gutters out. This is your time on the honey-do list when all the things you were supposed to do before, but you didn't. Clean them gutters out, because we want to make sure that the irrigation is properly going. And speaking of gutters, if you do have the splash pads, make sure they're turned a particular way. Then that way when the water comes out of the gutter, whoop, it splatters out rather than just holding there within. So that's a proper way of doing it. You can also spend your time trimming back some shrubs and trees away from the siding of the house. We want to make sure that there are no like uber vines, and if there's any kind of insects or pests or anything controlling, that way the licensed inspector can see the perimeters and outskirts of the home. Speaking of clearing stuff out, we want to make sure that we have a clear path to the electric panel, and we also have a clear path to the water heater. And finally, with foundation, you want to make sure when you're going around the perimeter of the house, the foundation is not sloped up on your side or brick of the house. We want to make sure that we get about like 4 to 6 inches away from it, so then that way there's no potential WDI insects. WDI insects. I just redundant. Wood destroying insects. That just said wood destroying insects. That doesn't make sense. So we want to make sure that they're not climbing up into the weep holes of the house. So these are just some really inexpensive dollar menu things that you can do to your house to help prep. Of course, if you want to do anything more in depth, you want to get a licensed professional. Or if you've got some questions on some major things, please give me a call. 817-714-5959. Thanks so much for tuning in, and take pride in your real estate experience.
Take pride in your real estate experience.